Today I'm going to talk to you about a few pieces of Titan fitness equipment that I own, that are in this gym right now, that I think are absolutely terrible. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be bringing you part 2 of my Titan fitness reviews. My first video focused on Titan fitness equipment that doesn't suck, and today I'm going to talk to you about a few pieces of Titan fitness equipment that I think are absolutely terrible and suck. The first piece of equipment up on the list is the Titan 3-inch beam. There's a couple reasons that this piece of equipment sucks. We're just going to take it piece by piece. First and foremost, the finish on this is kind of terrible. It's really smooth, which does make it more difficult to actually perform any sort of Saxon bar lifts with it, but it's also inconsistent between sides. So all 4 sides are actually a little bit inconsistent. I'll show some detail here in a minute, but you can actually see what looks like machining marks on this side. It almost looks like this is maybe circular tube that's been reformed. There's also a little bit of a rough corner versus this one being a super rounded corner. Just general annoyances. It's inconsistently manufactured. Also, you can tell it arrived bent. I promise I'm not strong enough to actually bend this thing. So beyond the bar being bent, there's also a few defects. So as stated before, the finish is incredibly inconsistent. The weight is not centered, so if you actually put it on a table, it doesn't balance. You can see there that the sleeve collar is not welded on straight, which causes the plates not sit straight, and it's the same for both sides. So the second piece of equipment from Titan Fitness that I think is a giant piece of crap is this Titan Fitness multi-grip bar. There's a couple reasons that I strongly dislike it. First and foremost, I can't even use my steel plates with these sleeves. They won't actually fit. It ends up speccing out at just over 50 millimeters. So if I do use this, I have to use either just my change plates, which obviously doesn't get heavy enough, or I have to use my high temp bumper plates, which I prefer not to use. I actually prefer to use my steels. Second reason I don't prefer it is because just like the Saxon bar or the beam, or whatever they're calling their bar, the sleeves are actually not welded on straight. So like when you have the plate stacked on and you put a clamp on it, it actually warps the plates to the side a little bit. It doesn't really affect the functionality so much, but it's kind of annoying. Another thing I don't like about it, I don't know if you can hear this, but when they cut it out, you can hear small pieces of metal that are still just rolling around inside the tube. Again, doesn't really affect functionality, but it's super annoying. Additionally, all of these handle welds, which I'll show you in detail, are super crappy, and just like the Saxon bar, all of the texture is inconsistent across all the handles. I'm pretty sure that all 6 handles that you can use are a different texture or a different level of paint. On some of them you can see the knurling but not necessarily feel it. On others it actually feels pretty decent, but maybe only on the back half of the bar. But like I said, it's inconsistent, kind of annoying. So you can see here all the welds look like your typical Titan Fitness done by like a 3-year-old, which they could very well have been done welds. The cutout, I guess, is a nice touch, but just not a quality product. All right, the third item is this Titan Fitness parallel landmine grip attachment. I wish I had just purchased a quality piece from the get-go. Couple reasons. One, not much use on this piece of equipment, but you can see that the paint is chipping away, and I don't treat this thing that poorly. It shouldn't be chipping away quite that soon. Also, like usual, Titan Fitness does not do welds very well. Not very well at all. There's actually one of these welds right here where if you catch this, it will not quite cut you, but it's uncomfortable enough to not want to use. Additionally, the sleeve doesn't exactly sit flush, so when you have this thing on a bar, there's a slight cant to it as you're pulling up on the bar. Again, none of this really affects the functionality so much, just general annoyances. It's something that costs money. I really wish that I had just bought the one I wanted from the get-go. And last but not least, the final piece from Titan Fitness that I regret. Believe it or not, you can actually screw up a loading pin, and they did it. They must have used the same material that they used for the multi-grip bar and for the Saxon bar on this, because I actually, if I do manage to load my steel plates on this, I've actually had to hit it with a hammer to get it to dislodge from inside the plates. It fits that tightly, which is just ridiculous. You'd think that you'd use some, I don't know, 1.9 inch OD, maybe like some Schedule 80. Another reason I don't like it is because this carabiner hole at the top is so small that it doesn't even hold a standard carabiner. Doesn't actually fit. What I ended up having to do was to go and buy these from Tractor Supply, which, mind you, they work, but I have to buy these. One of the difficulties is when this thing is loaded, it fits so perfectly that there's really no room for any slop. You can even see the hole small enough that if you put the gate through the wrong way, it's not going to come out. So you have to go this way. It only goes one way. Super annoying, especially since a loading pin should be a fairly simple thing to make. All right, so that's it. So that's 4 things that I own from Titan Fitness that I regret buying. I think if you're going to buy a home gym, that you should buy once, cry once, or buy nice or buy twice. I regret the 4 things I purchased. They do work. That's kind of the one thing that I can't argue against with people that love Titan Fitness is, yes, it does work. However, I want to use it. Something's a piece of crap, and all I can think about the whole time is, okay, well now I'm transitioning to the multi-grip bar, so I need to go get my high temp upper plates out because they're the only ones that fit. Then that's something I probably just don't want in my life. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you like these kind of videos. Also, you can hit this button up here to subscribe. I'll also post a training playlist up here and some other video that YouTube probably wants you to watch. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.